Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maisa Monteiro Da Cunha, and I am the Drilling and Wells Ambition Area Owner of TotalEnergies EMP UK. I am a well interventions engineer from a background, and when I arrived here in January 2021, I was given the really challenging task of developing a tool that would help mainly well intervention engineers, but also well integrity and well performance engineers to ensure that our wells in TotalEnergies UK were healthy and that we could perform quicker interventions. And with this, what we wanted, our objective also was to optimize our engineering processes and to increase the potential of all the wells of our affiliates. These were the main things that we raised when we developed and we started framing what afterwards would become Well Guardian. So in a nutshell, Well Guardian is a digital tool, is a digital platform that is quite multidisciplinary, because you're going to see that there are lots of information feeding this digital tool. And the main idea is that the engineers that before needed so many different data sources to understand what was going on a well, now they only have to go to one single place to visualize what's going on. So if I go to the next slide, the most important, the most interesting part of Well Guardian is that we have been able to connect our digital tool with more than 10 different softwares and folder systems that are going to, as I mentioned before, feed Well Guardian and give information that is going to be available 24/7. It's going to give real status of operations, real status of the integrity of the well, and also of safety, any safety actions or parameters related to that. And the way that we have created Well Guardian is that Well Guardian is divided into different modules. So the one that we are seeing now in these 4 different screens is called Well Health. That is the first one. And it's the one that we released in June 2021 when we released our first MVP of our product. So Well Health is going to, as the name indicates, is going to tell us everything related to HSE, operational status, and integrity status of a well. What the users are going to see is that they are going to have first a dashboard, that is the one that is called the All Wells, and they're going to see the position, the real position of our wells in each of our platforms. And they are going to select one of those rectangles that represent the well, and they're going to be redirected to what we call the well overview. So here in the well overview, they are going to get information about the integrity status, operational limits of the annuli, about the potential of a well, production, interventions that were ever carried over there. They will also find information about the schematics of a well. As a well intervention myself, engineer myself, I know that this is like the passport, this is like the DNA of a well. I need to understand what's inside. I need to understand the Christmas tree diagram, the wellhead schematic. So everything also is going to be directly displayed there on Well Guardian. And another really interesting feature that we have developed with our data scientists is what we call well behavior. Well behavior is a module, is a model, is a data scientist model that was developed to try to predict and indicate when there is a well behavior trend that has changed. So we have used historic information of all our wells. We have picked up pressures, temperatures from surface, bottom hole gauges, and taking a look at the production of water, oil, and gas, we are able to understand if there is something that is happening on a well, and that might indicate that there is something that needs to be done. Going forward with the features that Well Guardian has developed, Well Guardian also brings the user with alerts that can be customized to their needs. So what we are going to do is that we are going to follow up some operational parameters, for example, annuli pressures. And if there is any deviation on this, there is an alert that is going to be sent to the users. Another type of alert that we are giving to the users are any productivity improvements that have been identified by other people in the company. And also these well behavior trends that I mentioned before from our analytical feature, they are also going to start a notification that is going to be sent. This is going to be also located on one of the modules that you're going to see on the left hand side, that is the blue bar that we find on Well Guardian. So you need to select your alerts. You need to afterwards select the wells that you want to be notified about. You're going to receive a notification in case that something happens, and afterwards clicking on the link, you will be redirected to what we call an alert log, and there, for the engineers afterwards to process and to analyze, you will have all the history of all the alerts that have been ever raised for that particular well. What I also wanted to talk about is our last feature, and this is something that has revolutionized the way that we follow up and that we request well interventions in TotalEnergies UK. So the digital, we call it digital interventions, and again is one of the different modules that you find there on the blue left-hand side panel. And the idea is that we have created a digital version of the whole process of how to request a well intervention. This is really important because there were many people that were involved, many teams. And by doing this, what we have done is that we have standardized the way that well intervention requests are done. And we have also helped the whole affiliate to stick to the scopes, to the planning times. And at the end of the day, this has brought technically and better engineered operations, and of course safer operations, because we have a better understanding of what needs to be done, and we also respect more the timings of when each of the phases of a well intervention need to be delivered. Another thing that we have included in the process, in the digital process, are the approvals and sign-offs. We all know that people sometimes receive emails or have documents, physical documents, that they need to sign and they never look at. So everything now is inside and is inside of our process, and also gives some transparency and accountability to understand who perhaps needs to take an action on this particular process. If I go to my last slide, I wanted to show you the interface of our tool. Because of course this is something that for digital tools, digital products is really important. We wanted to try to give the users an understanding of the whole process and the different steps. So on the left hand side, in the middle there, the gray part is going to show you the different phases, and inside of each phase, the different subtasks that the people need to fill in. And on the right-hand side, on the white part, you see all the different documentation and the different actions that the people need to take. Of course, I don't have the time to go through all this, but the main thing is to show you the features and again the user experience. So you see that people can link and attach documents, they can edit comments. It is really user-friendly, it's really easy. It's really visual to understand and see where we are at the let's say at the moment of a well intervention request, who has to take an action, and also the well intervention request. This digitalization has been coded in order to also release notifications, as the notifications that, for example, we saw before. If there is anyone that needs to take an action, Well Guardian is automatically going to tell this person that there is an action that needs to be done. Everything is protected. We can see there also that many phases are locked, so that is going to avoid people tampering or adding or deleting information that is important. So all the things that before didn't exist, they are all now available on Well Guardian. So as you have seen, Well Guardian is really a multidisciplinary tool. It has now been used since June 2021, and because of its great success in our affiliate in TEP UK, now TotalEnergies headquarters in France are looking forward to take it and to try to deploy our tool in all the rest of the affiliates around the world. So we are extremely proud of what we have done in just over a year.